Hey, welcome back to the Chalk Sports Podcast. And listen, we're going to pretty much skim over this, basically talk about yesterday's mock draft, and then we'll get into today's rounds 2, 3. Oh, no, just 2, 3. So, starting with, obviously, Mendoza went 1. We all saw that coming. And 2, David Bailey. David Bailey should not have gone this high. Arvo Reese, the fact that he slid to 5th was diabolical. There are so many losers of this draft, but I think the biggest winner of this draft is David Bailey just jumping that far ahead. I don't think the Jets should have gone there, but they did, and they don't really have much. They can't really change it now. So, Jeremiah Love at 3 is even worse. Jeremiah Love at 3 just doesn't make any sense. Because why would you pick a running back that would have to get paid the top contract of all running backs? And listen, Jeremiah Love is a very talented player. He was the best player on the board, I guess you could say. I mean, I would argue Arvo Reese, but you could say he was the best on the board. But getting him there makes no sense for you as a team in the future. You could have got Arvo Reese, a more positional importance. But they didn't. Carnell Tate at 4 didn't make a lot of sense for me either. In my opinion, I don't know why they went Carnell Tate. Because, yes, the Titans do need that talent. But at the same time, why would you target a wide receiver when your team is so empty? You're missing so many positions. There's so much help you need. A wide receiver does not change that, especially a weaker wide receiver class. Not a weaker wide receiver class, but in a position where you got a defensive coach. Build the defense. Makes no sense. Arvo Reese at 5. Beautiful pick by the Giants. I'm so tired of the Giants slander, man. The Giants fans are genuinely so annoying because they're talking about, oh, like Arvo Reese was such a reach, we shouldn't have drafted Arvo Reese. And I'll get more into Francis, but oh my god, they're just annoying me. Mansour Delane at 6 didn't make a lot of sense because why did the Chiefs trade up? They did not need to trade up whatsoever. Mansour was not going to get picked by Commanders. He wasn't going to get picked by the Saints. He was going to be at 9. They jumped 4, whatever. It's their decision, I guess. Maybe the Browns threatened to take him or something, but yeah. Sony Styles was a great pick for the Commanders. They got the best talent. Like, not really a lot more to say about that. Jordan Tyson is at 8. That makes sense. Good pick. The only issue with it is he's injury prone, and he's next to Chris Olave, who's also injury prone. That kind of worries me. Spencer Fano at 9 makes a lot of sense. It's perfect for Cleveland. I genuinely think that they got the second best tackle in the draft, but I also think Fano will play any position, which is huge, huge, huge value. Francis Mauigoa. I am so tired of the Giants fans saying we should have drafted Caleb Downs. You should not have drafted Caleb Downs. You are perfect drafting Francis. Yes, you need a safety, but at the end of the day, Caleb Downs is a prospect. And Francis Mauigoa is also a prospect, except one of them is the best linebacker in the entire class, and one of them is the best corner in the entire class. Which position is more valuable? It's linemen. It's linemen by a mile. Offensive linemen are so vital for football teams nowadays. And when your team, like the New York Giants, where your football giants are just not very well built in offensive line, and you have young talent, look at that grade. James Hudson, look at that grade. He played horrible this season. And yeah, they're weak at safety. I wouldn't disagree with you there, but there's so much more talent in this draft too that they could take advantage of. Caleb Downs at 11 makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys. Not really a lot of question marks there. Caden Proctor at 12 and Ty Simpson at 13 made no sense to me. I don't know why Miami went Caden Proctor. He has some struggles and often lacks motivation, which is not what you want for a Miami team who's consistently lacking motivation. A team that needs motivation constantly. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Ty Simpson at 13, I guess. I think you're reaching too far. If you're the Rams, you're reaching for a guy who will be good maybe in a few years. But right now, they don't need Ty Simpson. And I don't think it makes a lot of sense to pass up on a Ruben Bain or a Blake Miller, all for a guy who's a potential player. There's a good draft class next year. You should have waited. Or you should have picked late. Somebody like Talon Green, the prospect who's got so much to build on and could be accuracy built. It would have been perfect. But whatever. Vega Iona, best pick for the Ravens. It's the perfect pick. It's the best decision by a mile. Ruben Bain, 15 makes sense for the Bucks. He falls that far. I think they should have gone Kenyon Sadiq, but at the same time, can you really blame them? I'm not mad at them whatsoever for going Ruben Bain in this position. Next up is Kenyon Sadiq. And Kenyon Sadiq at 16, good pick by the Jets. Really not bad whatsoever. I do think there's more positional needs, but I think Kenyon Sadiq's the perfect kind of fill piece. He can play any position. He can play wide receiver, quarterback, not quarterback, maybe quarterback, tight end, running back. He can play a lot of positions. So I want to see him used as that. I don't want him to just be a specific tight end. Blake Miller is a good pick by Lions. I saw A pluses. I think that's fair. He is an Iron Man. He's reliable. He's consistent. Just a good pick overall. Caleb Banks is a little bit of a question mark. I think they reached a little bit because he's so injury prone. It's the same theme with Monroe Feeling. He's kind of at the same spot where they're both injury prone, or there's not a lot proven. There's a lot of question marks reigning about those two, and I feel like they're just a little bit of reaches. Mekhi Lemon, great pick by the Eagles. They jump ahead. I'm assuming AJ Brown's probably gone then. Max Ironhammer, do not hate on Max. I think that he is another example of a lot of question marks. I don't know what he will be, whether he will be a full talent or if he will be just kind of like meh. I think he will be talented, but I just don't know what level he will be at. I would imagine all-pro if he's trained right, but Akeem Mesidor at 22 makes total sense. Good pick by the Chargers. It's a Harbaugh toy. I'm sure Harbaugh's so stoked to get him. He's the perfect quintessential Harbaugh player. Malachi Lawrence, I think you reached a little. I don't remember exactly where everybody had him going, but I don't think I had him going that high. Yeah, he was second round production. I think he's a good player. I'm just curious to see if he probably would have fallen a little longer. KC Conceptions, another guy who's a reach. I had him at the late first round, early second round kind of deal. So I think the Browns reached a little. I think Denzel Boston could have been at the same level. I don't dislike KC Conception at all, though. I think he's a good pick for the Browns. It's just a matter of Omar Cooper, maybe you could argue is better, but Dylan Thiemann, oh my gosh, what a pick. He was already one of my favorite prospects coming into the draft. I think he could be Defensive Player of the Year worthy if he plays so immaculate safety, so it's hard to get there, but he could be at the top. He is a perfect 25. Kalen Rutledge at 26, what a reach. Listen, I love Kalen Rutledge. I've been high on Kalen Rutledge. He is a third, I think he's third he's second round in Lance Erline. He's second round, late second round. He is not he should not have gone this early. I do think he's really talented. Don't get me wrong. His athleticism is off the charts. He's a very mean, like riled up guy. I think he's going to be a great player. I'm just worried they reached too hard. They kind of panicked, set in, and then they just reached. Chris Johnson at 27 made no sense, man. The Dolphins trade forward for a guy who could have been 1 at 30. 2, they could have just waited. Chris Johnson is an all-right talent at best. He's versatile, but I just don't think he fills that Dolphins roster well. The Dolphins roster is missing so many pieces that going corner, it makes sense in some regards, but in the other regards, I don't see the difference. I think they could have gone better. They should have gone with Peter Woods. We'll get into Peter Woods' second. Killable Mile, good pick. I think it's just the perfect pick. There's not really a lot of controversy around it. There's not really a lot of question marks about it. It's the quintessential, okay, that makes sense. All the trades, by the way, caused so much chaos in this. Like, I mean, look at this end. 26, because Houston traded forward. Buffalo traded back to Houston. Houston picked Kalen, which I, again, don't understand that because they could have just waited at 28. Buffalo trades back again to New England to fall to 31st, and then Buffalo trades the 31st pick to Tennessee to fall out of the first round. Caleb Blau, good pick. Peter Woods, what a steal, man. It was an A-plus pick, man. There's no doubt it was perfect. They needed that pick bad, and it made sense. It is exactly everything you could want out of a player. Peter Woods, perfect pick. Omar Cooper is going to be a good pick. I think the Jets are getting a guy who's athletic. He's proven. He's got a lot of tape behind him. He's the exact thing they needed. And I think it's just going to work out well for them. Keldrick Folk at 31. A little bit risky, a little bit early. But you know what? If they feel confident in him, if that's who Saleh wants, I understand it. He's a high character player too. He can bring in a culture. I think it will work for the Titans, but I'm curious to see how well. Jadarian Price at the last pick, and I'll wrap it up and make another video. Jadarian Price at 32 just made sense. It shouldn't have happened. I think it was a little bit of reach, but again, if you know you want him, you know you want him. And for the Seahawks, they're just building. They're like sculpting. So, like, when they build, like, the statues, it's like they're just putting the details in. They already are complete. They don't need any specific positions. So they're filling out the holes that they have. Jadarian Price will be a good backup to Charbonnet, who I've been preaching does not have the ability to be a number one. He is a good boom and bust kind of running back, which is perfect. That's fine. If you know your role, perfect. But I think he fits well here. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share. Go on my channel and see. I will probably have the preview for round 2 posted around 2 and 3. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.